Matthew 7:24. Pas un hostis acque mutus lagus tutus, kai poie autus, homoiothesetai andri phranimo, hostis oka damesan autu tain oikian epitain petran. Here Jesus is wrapping up the Sermon on the Mount in these final verses here, and he says, so, thus, everyone who, and don't be thrown off by these alternate forms of the relative pronoun, originally indefinite relatives, you can see that's hos plus tis becomes hostis, but really is used basically interchangeably with hos most of the time, like a relative pronoun. So going back here to the verse, so or thus, the inferential particle there, everyone who hears these words of mine. Notice the somewhat emphatic placement of mu there, and so bringing that up, of mine. Everyone who hears these words of mine. Now, I'll mention the verb akuo will frequently take a genitive object. Here it takes an accusative object, so it also can take an accusative object. So everyone who hears these words of mine and does them, right, does the words. That's important. It's not just hearing the words, but doing them, as the Epistle of James points out, which is so really so many overlaps with the Sermon on the Mount. What about this person who hears Jesus' words and does them? He will be like, notice the theta there. You know that theta is like a recliner, somebody's kicking back, feeling passive. And see that third person singular ending there? This is from the verb homoiao, right, to be like. And some people think this should be understood as a medial passive, conveying a middle idea, but it also just renders nicely, I think, as a passive. It's a future passive indicative third singular. He will be like, and this is a verb, homoiao, that takes a dative complement or dative object. So there's our dative complement or object. He will be like a man, not just a man, but he will be like a phranimo andri. He'll be like a wise man who built his house upon the rock.